You are now listening to the Divorce Diaries podcast with your host. Well, that's a secret. No names, ages, or any other identifying characteristics will be used as we protect the young and innocent. You'll be taken on a journey as one man considers getting a divorce or remaining married. The Divorce Diaries daily entries chronicle the decision-making processes in real time as they unfold day by day. He hopes to add a bit of clarity to his sometimes muddled mess of a marriage. Cheating, overspending, sex, sadness, and betrayal are the characteristics of this marriage. Is he making the right choice? Welcome to the Divorce Diaries. Entire seasons are released on Patreon weeks before anywhere else at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Link below in description. Now for today's episode.
Right now, I'm going to touch on Will and Jada. If you don't know, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are married. Will Smith was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith just released his new book, Will, that is more of a memoir / autobiography meets self-help. I love it so far. I'm about an hour in. The book is about 16 hours total. At least that's what the Times says on the book. But it also says it's like 13 hours on my thing. I don't really know. So it's somewhere between 13 and 16 hours. It is absolutely great so far. And he goes into a lot of the abuses that happened to him in his life and his brothers and sisters, his mother, his father's life, and ultimate passing. It's been very therapeutic for me. And I've always identified with Will Smith in what I'm going to try to focus this diary entry on, his corniness. He himself called it that. He said maybe he was a little bit of a nerd, a little soft, a little corny, whatever it was. But Will Smith has these opinions about himself that he doesn't shy away from. Now, this is the Divorce Diaries. Obviously, this is my marriage and divorce chronicling podcast where I talk about and go through some therapeutic things for myself as I explore and express some of the trials, tribulations, pains, heartaches that I've had to experience, that I feel I've had to experience, and a lot of the pains, heartaches, and afflictions that I have made other people experience based on shit that I've done to them. And can you imagine being a man and your wife, in this case, Jada Pinkett Smith, thinks that you are corny? She had a deep relationship with Tupac, and he was a lot different than Will Smith. Will Smith obviously is a blockbusting selling, like now he's probably a New York Times bestseller, big screen and small screen star. Star probably doesn't do Will Smith justice. Icon. Seriously, he's Will fucking Smith. Damn, who doesn't know who he is? In what country do you not know who Will Smith is? So it's been very awesome watching his career, but he said himself that he's corny. And if Jada Pinkett Smith really loved and enjoyed a man like Tupac, which is very different, there's a lot of rumor about Tupac in that he was a very theatrical child and person that maybe wore a little bit of a mask of toughness that overestimated or overemphasized where he was tough versus where he was actually tough, or downplayed where he was maybe softer and well-rounded and cultured. So, but as it seems, Jada Pinkett Smith seemed to like the quote-unquote safer, thuggish artists, like how she entered into an affair with her son Jaden's, what I understand to be possibly friend or acquaintance, that the Smiths moved into their home. He wasn't the quote-unquote real type, the 50 Cent thug, the Tupac thug, even though I love 50. 50's not a thug at all. Tupac, I love Tupac. He's not a thug. Tupac is still my favorite rapper. 50 is one of my favorite rappers. But she seemed to like the perception of toughness, but a fragile or more cultured, more balanced man. Like, I don't know that Jada Pinkett Smith will find herself with a Future. Future may do that, but I don't know if um, the guy that's out there really gangbanging, I don't know if she's really gonna do that. I think she needs a maybe level of control over her man, and she needs to be pedestalized a bit, maybe, which is probably why she did choose Will Smith. I mean, he was a very safe bet, and I'm not saying that I know what Will Smith did or didn't do extracurricularly in his marriage, but when your wife doesn't, because I felt this, when your wife doesn't have respect for you, the things that she will do are unknown, immeasurable, and you should likely not be surprised at the things that your wife may do if she thinks you are corny or she loses or does not have respect for you. Things will be done very publicly that make you say, wait, whoa, did you just like bring someone into our home and violate the home that I pay for? Yes, she might. Did you not contribute financially to our home, but you paid for this guy's car or something? I don't know. Yes, she may. Do you sort of not communicate publicly about what happens in our life, but you publicly connect to and show affection with another man in public? Yes. You'll find, and it'll be very troubling, but you'll find that when you don't have the respect, like in Will Smith's case, Jada Pinkett Smith has, I don't know what's less than zero, but she seems to have no respect at all for Will Smith. None. Publicly coming on to her platform, the Red Table Talk, and talking about how her husband that she's currently married to, not her ex, where her current husband may not be able to satisfy her sexually. He cannot satisfy her sexually. He leaves things that are desired. Just to publicly do that, that can be the truth. That can be a fact in her mind, and that's okay. I'm not trying to take back that. But the respect, if it was there, there would probably be a barrier for her where she might say, I won't do that. I had a family member who was dating a girl, and they were very serious. Well, let me categorize their relationship both from how I knew it to be on his side and what it appeared to be on hers. On his side, he was definitely serious, head over heels for this girl. And to me, my perspective on her side, she was very happy with the time she was able to spend with him. He was head over heels. She was happy. Enough, most of the time. She never really bemoaned anything, but when he would spend time doing the things that he wanted to do, that was sometimes a problem. I'm not going to say whether he did or didn't spend too much or not enough time doing what he wanted to do, and he did cater to her or not cater to her. That's not for me to say. All I'm saying is she sometimes didn't feel great about that. Trying to be fair to her. Maybe he didn't pay her enough attention. But fast forward to the future, after them being together for 4 or 6 years, something like that. I don't remember. She moved down to his, she went to the same college that he went to. And she fell in with a football player, didn't break up with him, started screwing this guy, totally broke his heart, and whatever. So I don't know what happened, but when I say I don't know what happened, I just told you what happened. What I mean is by I don't know what happened is she must have lost a significant amount of respect for him to do that way. She fell in with another friend group. She was having a great time with them. And she started going to parties, knowing that he's on campus, stopped returning calls, just started being a cute college girl, getting the college attention and going into environments and learning. It's fine. It's totally okay. But maybe if the respect were there, one, maybe she wouldn't have done it. But if the respect were there and she didn't think he was maybe corny, then maybe, hey, I think we should see other people, or wow, I'm having some experiences here now at this school. I didn't count on that. This is something that I want to live here. I want to live my life here unconstrained. That would be how someone could maybe respect someone that they're with. But with that not being the case, she literally tore his heart out in front of people. It was public. And didn't care, didn't amend, didn't change, didn't really apologize, none of that. And I'm watching the same thing with Will and Jada. It's weird when the whole world, I wonder what that did to her perspective of Will when the world was saying that Will Smith was corny. When he came out with Miami and Millennium. Man, he's just posing. His lyrics aren't hard enough. It's almost like the whole world was invalidating her husband. Could that have been something that she used as fodder to also invalidate her husband in her own mind and make him less legitimate? You're not tough enough. You're corny. See, that's what they're all saying. They're all saying you're corny. Well, I'm signing up for that shit. Yeah, you are corny. You're corny. And I need to be with someone that's not corny. You're not hard enough. You're soft. What if you're a woman and you really want your husband to be something that he's not? That's gotta be tough. It's gotta be tough on your marriage. It's gotta be tough on you as the woman. And men, I know it goes without saying that if you are, let's say you're a black guy and you really like country music, and what if you get with a black girl and she's just like, what the fuck? You mean you don't like Pop Smoke? You don't like, whatever. It's a really difficult situation to find yourself in. Just losing the respect of your wife. And I have felt that. And I have experienced what it's like not having the respect of the woman that you're with, and the public disrespect, the openness of communication, the watching them befriend people that mean them nothing good, putting themselves around people that are hurting them and using them and trying to say, hey, please stop. Like, don't do this. This isn't good for you. And you don't control me. Stop it. Because they don't no longer respect your opinions. They no longer respect your feelings. They no longer respect your perspective. They no longer respect you. So thinking of it that way, watching Jada Pinkett Smith move as a wife that doesn't respect her husband, then it sort of makes sense as to how she can be so dark. But it also isn't dark, because no, this is just what someone might do that doesn't respect her husband anymore. She doesn't respect him. So why would she protect his secrets? Why would she protect hers that hurt her family? Why wouldn't she have had sex with August Alsina in their home? Why? She doesn't respect anyone, let alone herself. So when you look at it that way, Jada Pinkett Smith doesn't come off like a villain to me. Not anymore. When I was really angry and stuff like that, I'm like, oh my God, here's another bitch just doing this. Oh, fuck. These women, they're all shit. Pieces of trash, these women. No. Men and women love very differently. One, I'd argue maybe a woman is not capable of love. Not in the same way a man is. A man is capable of the type of love that might lead him to dive in front of a bullet for his wife, because that would be his instinct. Oh my gosh, you're my wife. I want to protect you. I dove in front of the bullet. A woman, she may show her love by respect. checking with you before certain decisions are made, making sure that you are pleased as a man, because there's something about the level of reverence and respect. I don't know how many female listeners I may have listening to these diary entries, but it might make you recoil, I should say, when someone says, yeah, cater to and dote on your man. That's really an expression of respect. If he works and you don't, he comes home and a man really only wants peace. So actually, to respect him might be to provide him some peace and maybe even comfort. Comfort may come in the form of when he comes home, hey, honey, here's a beer, give you a kiss, rub the back of his neck. After you've decompressed from the day, come and see me because there are a few things I want to talk to you about. You just respected him. You just came over, and don't worry, the dumb blob is not going to forget that. He's going to say, what the fuck just happened? She just gave me a beer. It's cold. She didn't hammer me with what's happening with the kids as soon as I walked in the door. She said something remotely to the fact that I have something going on, and she respects the fact that I may or may not be tired, but that I just came and sat down, and I seemed to have a lot on my mind, but she didn't ask me. She gave me this beer, which was an act of service. She gave me some physical touch, which men love, rubbed the back of my head, gave me a kiss on the forehead, and then gave me an instruction. Because men want to be valuable, and we're respected when we know we're valued. And she gave me something to do. Come and see me when you are done decompressing from the day, because I have some things to talk to you about. So boom, she came into his life softly, gave him something, told him what to do next. So this man doesn't have to guess. He's building the honey-do list in his head and feeling like probably, holy shit, this woman did not have to come and bring me a beer. I got home and I just sat on my ass. So he might even be feeling a little bit guilty. And I'm talking good men here. I'm not talking the men that maybe aren't so great. I'm talking if you have a good man that you respect or that you want to show respect to, that may be something you might decide to do. And he's going to definitely finish that beer. He may not even finish it. He'll sip it in that 30 minutes he was planning on sitting there looking like a blob doing nothing. He's actually going to sip that beer, and he's going to come over and see you as quickly as he fucking can, probably with the beer in hand. Hey, babe, I could just drink this beer right here. What's going on? What do you have to talk to me about? Oh, well, the kids were doing this, and, your son behaved this way, so I just, thought you should know. And, if you could talk to him later tonight, that'd be great. Hey, dinner's going to be at 6. And can you help me cut up these potatoes for dinner? All of a sudden, the guy's like, what the okay. She's telling me about a problem she had I didn't know about. She's telling me what she'd like me to do. And now she's also asking me to do this. So actually, as a woman, you have just shown your husband so much respect that you got exactly what you wanted, probably, and then some. And then he's doing more than you even expected because, by the way, I need you to do this. And that's all because you gave him something that he wanted. You provided nothing but consistent respect through that exchange. You were not combative. You gave him the peace that he probably didn't even know he was looking for in that moment. And then you gave him instructions and a very, very easy bars to reach and very easy standards to get to, that it just really made for the best possible situation for your husband. Absolutely amazing. So let that serve as a little bit of a PSA for both husbands and wives. You really want to show your wife that you aren't corny and that you deserve respect. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that with today's woman. I did not know how to do it with my wife. I was not a good enough husband. And I'm going to say that, and I'm going to be honest about it. I was not a good enough husband because I didn't understand the level of emotional maturity I would need to have consistently. I didn't understand how I really needed to understand how to maintain the frame of a relationship. the mood swings of an emotional wife. Not my emotional wife, just a woman. The emotions fluctuate, and I allowed my emotions to fluctuate with my wife. Very, very difficult to have two emotionally volatile and reactive people doing things. It's really tough. One person really needs to be steady. And why should my wife have respected me being emotional? I don't respect people that are super, super emotional, especially men. But I definitely needed to equip myself with the tools to be able to respect my wife the right ways when she was being emotional, which was damn near all the time. But I looked at it as a bad thing. Husbands, don't look at your wife's emotion as a bad thing. Just look at it as the yin to your yang. And if you're the yang, do what the fuck you're supposed to do yang-wise. Be steady, be patient, be strong. Communicate both stoically and emotively. Be able to have a standard for yourself, but not make her feel bad about the decisions that she makes. Don't be corny. I don't know how that's achievable. I don't know how you can do that. All I know is Will Smith probably failed at that too. And also understand that if you're going to get married to a woman, you've got to understand, Will, you had to understand that this is what this type of woman was going to do if she lost respect for you. So you really needed to evaluate from the very start, were you respected? Were you doing things that earned your self-respect? I know that I didn't do the things that earned myself respect. Not consistently. It's definitely here and there. And then ultimately at the end, my wife had no respect for me whatsoever. And that's why I can't be super upset at the way my wife treated me. I mean, yeah, I'm upset about it. I'm hurt about it. I do believe my wife was a POS for many of the things that she did. All I'm saying is, through my red pill lens that I look at the world now, I understand why my wife has behaved in the ways that she has consistently over the course of our marriage, which is why I don't want to get a divorce. But now understanding these things, I understand that I need to, and it will be best.
Wow. That was the Divorce Diaries podcast. The Daily Saga will continue tomorrow. The full season's episodes are on Patreon now. Subscribe for early access. Click the Patreon link in the description. Hopefully, these entries help our anonymous recorder as a form of his own personal therapy. That's his hope and his intention. Will these recordings of life's curveballs lead this family to the best resolution in the end? We'll keep listening. New episodes are released daily on all podcast players, but all episodes are available on Patreon at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Until next time.